Series come and series go, but stupid. Yes, no matter the year, no matter the genre, stupid. Stupid never changes. Hello everyone, I'm your jubilant cyber new type, the Dapper Bard. We have made it to the end of this trash fire. I'm so glad that I'm done with this show, for now. I do need to warn you, this show found new ways of being stupid, new ways of quick-solving problems, and new ways to piss me off. The ending is so bad, defenders of the show don't like it. So, suit up! We're going to end this war. A very short cold open this time, where the Death Star is being charged up, and they send out mobile suits to defend it. Meanwhile, Mary Suletta is checking on the Ariel, and then has a bit of a freak out. After the opening credits, Mary Suletta has been brought to the base, and looks pretty wrecked. We also see the Benerit troops move in to capture Quiet Zero, so we're generally wrapping things up. The Space Assembly League declares their intention to bring down the Benerit group with the Death Star. Then the Earth Dorm fixes all the robots, which was super easy, barely an inconvenience, so that the heroes of this series can end the conflict. It should be noted that Guel is back with no fanfare. He just survived somehow, he's fine, and is just there as part of the team now. There's no major resolution between him and his brother, nor is there a follow-up to him and Mary Suletta. He is just there because he was a popular character in the series, and they didn't want to kill him off. The team launches, and Guel is told to turn back, but he leads the team forward. Then Mary Suletta launches, with the Ariel and the Calibarn connected together. Then we get the eye catch, only 6 minutes into the episode? Bear in mind, this is a standard length episode at 24 minutes. Alright, moving on. So we learn Prospera has plotitis, and will die soon. In fact, her body is barely working. She tries to use this to cause a pity party. Boy, is it pathetic how hard this episode tries to make Prospera a sympathetic villain. If the writers wanted to do that, then they shouldn't have made her a mass murderer. A quest of revenge, or doing something unethical to save her child, works. Killing masses of people in order to turn her daughter into the internet just can't be justified. Yet, the writers take many steps this episode to make her sympathetic, which says something about how they view human life. Or perhaps they're just too stupid to realize what they did with their story. We see Mary Suletta respond to this by saying that she wants to save her mother and Ari, which obviously means she won't be using Quiet Zero to end this battle. This isn't really a character arc, but it is growth, so I guess that's good? Too bad it has no major payoff beyond this one point. Now, here's where things get really stupid. The ghost of Elon 4 shows up and gives Mary Suletta more power so she can communicate with Ari again. They talk briefly, then Ari sends her spirit and those of the dead children to upgrade the Calibarn so Bandai can sell one last toy to those few people who still buy merch from this series. Look, I go to cons. I've seen the witch kits on the bottom shelf. I've seen the discounts. The overwhelming lack of goods based on this show. The lack of cosplay. The lack of Artist Alley attention to the series. It is obvious this show is not popular amongst the convention crowd, and I get the feeling Bandai is well aware Witch from Mercury does not sell. At this point, the Death Star is getting ready to fire again, and hopefully it will kill most of the cast. Sadly, this does not happen. The attack is interrupted by Miorine declaring that the Benerit group is being dissolved, and all assets will be sold or given away. She also blames everything that happened on Shattuck, who happily accepts becoming a scapegoat. Then Elon Prime just goes, "Deuces, I'm out," and quits Pell Corporation. Speaking of Elon, we will not get any resolution with Elon 5. He just doesn't exist anymore. I don't know where he went or what he's doing, and the writers don't care either. However, the Death Star crew continues to power up the laser. Then Mary Suletta goes Super Saiyan, no, I'm not kidding, which shoots out a shockwave that makes Quiet Zero glow. During this time, we also see that the laser is hacked and shut off. Then Prospera talks with the ghosts of the people who died in Prologue. No, I'm not kidding! Apparently they can just be summoned by Mary Suletta to try to resolve emotional issues. This is also done to make Prospera seem more sympathetic. Ugh, it makes my stomach turn that someone thought she deserved emotional resolution after all her crimes. Mary Suletta also talks with Prospera and forgives her before Eri appears. Then Prospera hugs Ghost Eri because you can hug ghosts now. Why not? Then all of Quiet Zero just fades away because it turned into permit particles. This is essentially the resolution to the problem. No mobile suit battles, no grand final confrontation, just a massive anti-climax. Like I always say, this show defies expectations in the least satisfying way possible. To the show's credit, there is one good part to this episode. After the fading of Quiet Zero, Miorine is left floating in space. It is an all-quiet moment. Mary Suletta rescues her. The silent space moment is well done, but lasts just about a minute before voice and music kick in again. Then Miorine insults Suletta for taking too long. We can't even have one nice moment without it getting undercut and ruined by bad writing. We get a time skip and see that the Earthdorm people are doing fine. Choo-Choo gets to be a joke once more because she is yelling and completely out of control instead of showing that she has grown into a proper mobile suit pilot. We also see that Shattuck has taken full responsibility for Quiet Zero and all the other problems. This is because the writers forgot that the Earth kids looked up to Shattuck as a hero. The prince was an aspirational goal for children on Earth, and now he is one of the greatest criminals Earth has ever known. Way to go, trying to make amends between space and Earth, idiots. We see Lada with Petra, so I guess she didn't die. Good for her. Yule and Elon are part of the rebuilding of the Astakasia Academy, and apparently the revival of Jaturk Heavy Industries. However, Yule does not get to end the show with his dignity, as he is made fun of in this sequence. Of course, Yule and Choo-Choo don't get to leave with their dignity intact. Why would you ever want to have a positive outcome for the two most popular characters? We get a montage of Neo trying to do things for Earth. We learn that there are powers in space that want to take control again, but that doesn't matter because the show is over. We finally learn that Eri survived because Mary Suletta transferred her mind into a keychain. Somehow. Also, Prospera is still alive in a wheelchair. Somehow. I guess Mary Suletta and Miorine got married, or they're now roommates, or who cares? They hold hands, and we go to credits, with the first opening theme being played, and the entire audience regretting ever having watched this series. Of final note, we get an easily changed line about sister-in-law while Mio is on the phone, and we see hand-holding that could easily be removed. I know that most people don't really like this couple, and their on-screen chemistry is terrible, but it seems strange to me how little affection these two characters ever showed for each other. Anyhow, I'm not saying that Bandai did this for any major reason, I just wanted to point out that they are a couple that sure doesn't seem to act like a couple. Oh, I used the freedom image again. That's weird. Well, whatever, let's wrap this up. I'm going to say it. This is the worst Gundam series. I haven't seen an anime this bad in a really long time. You could compare Witch from Mercury to any bad Gundam series, and the bad Gundam series does its worst aspects better than Witch. Gundam Age has bad planning, but still tells a coherent story. G-Reco rips off Star Wars and is filled with stupid tropes, but events and character motivations make sense. Build Fighters is a toy commercial, but it sells better than G-Witch. Much like Seed Destiny, G-Witch clearly had mid-production changes, but at least Seed Destiny has interesting characters and some awesome mobile suit designs that are loved to this day. This show is terrible, and the psychic damage I took watching it made this a miserable experience. I'm glad I never bought any merch from this series when I was hyped about it. I waited to see how things would go, and they went poorly. Even on my videos, I've seen less and less defense of this show as it went on. Even those who like the show realize they can't defend it. Every time I think this series hits rock bottom due to bad storytelling or flat characters, it found new ways to go even lower. It's just sad what this show became, because it could have been great. It could have had an interesting story about corporate greed, the military-industrial complex, and the manipulation of the media. The final episode came out during Anime Expo. Normally, a company would want to use that as an excuse to bring in some voice actors or the crew and push the home release as well as the merchandise. However, Bandai and Sunrise did none of that. They promoted Demon Slayer, Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, and other brands that Bandai makes toys for. There was a Gundam-based shop, of course. It did have an Ariel statue, but the majority of the promotions went to other brands. Love Live had a much bigger push with their new series and video games. Japan knows the show is bad, and it will be swept under the rug like other Gundam series that don't sell toys or are massively disliked by the fandom. Of course, we will see the occasional P-Bandai or Fig Arts, but they will pale in comparison to the numbers of other Gundam series and other popular anime franchises that get new products. The show is a horrible waste of what could have been a great concept. I only have anecdotal evidence, but it seems many people dropped the show partway through. I'm not taking credit for that. People make their own choices. My only hope is that my videos have put into perspective why the show is bad for those who had difficulty articulating why they didn't like G-Witch. More important than that, I want to take some time to say thank you to everyone who was with me on this journey. Those who supported me, those who discussed the show with me, those who argued with me, everyone, because it shows just how passionate we all are for the Gundam franchise. If you want me to watch the next Gundam series and do the episode-by-episode reviews, let me know in the comments below. If there is a Gundam series you want me to do a review of, also let me know in the comments so I can make some plans for the future. I do have one last G-Witch video to do, then I'm done with this poorly written, terribly planned, and morally backwards series. After that, I'll take a Gundam break, but I will be back with Gunpla reviews, and of course, more lore videos in the near future. Until we meet again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the tavern.